Hi, I'm Catherine Tennyson. I graduated in May of 2016 with my bachelor's in business administration from Rogers State University and with my master's in business administration from Southern Nazarene University in March of 2018. Today's Money Monday topic is all about budgeting. For this session, I'm here with Caitlin,
Hello.
and we'll be crafting a basic budget.
So why do I need a budget?
The main reason you need a budget is it helps you keep track of all the expenses that you have, so that way you do not have any surprise bills or miss any payments.
I do tend to forget when my Amazon Prime payment is coming out.
Exactly. By budgeting, you could also see how you are spending your money, and you may find surprises such as spending several $100s a month on eating out, or that you are still subscribed to Netflix and you don't even watch it anymore. It also allows you to monitor your bills and helps you notice if your internet bill increases by $20 and you did not change your services. By budgeting, it gives you greater control over your money and allows you to make changes that benefit your financial health.
That actually sounds pretty cool. Okay, teach me how to budget.
So the budget you are seeing is the finished budget for a person named Maggie.
This looks kind of overwhelming. Is it difficult to make?
I know it looks a bit overwhelming, but it really is a simple budget, and I will be giving you step-by-step instructions on how to get to this finished product.
Okay, but can I be Maggie?
Yes, you can be Maggie.
Sweet. So how does this thing work?
This first section is monthly expenses. These are the expenses that are due on a specific date. The second section is paychecks. This is where you input the bring home amount on your paychecks, meaning the amount that you actually make after taxes. Just below that is additional income section, where you list any money that you receive beyond your main job. The third section is where you record your monthly expenses that do not have a specific due date, such as groceries and gas for your vehicle. The fourth section is where you will itemize the bills that you pay with each check.
So wait, if I only get paid once a month, I wouldn't have to mess with that part, right?
Correct. This fifth section will show you how much money you have left after paying for everything. Lastly, this section shows some of the things you can do with any money you have left over.
Okay, that kind of makes sense, but I think I need to actually see each step.
All right, I can do that. So the first step that you will want to do when making your budget is record your expenses and due dates. As you can see, I already pre-filled this information to save some time. The next step is to record your income and your pay dates. After that, you'll want to look at the due dates of your bills and decide which check to pay them with.
Wait, I have a question though. My car insurance just auto drafts. I don't really know what day that comes out on exactly.
That's okay. You can look at your bank statements or your transaction history to find out when it is deducted. So after you put in the due dates, you will want to highlight the bills paid with your first check in one color and your second check in a different color. This will allow you to easily complete the next step. At this point, you'll want to take each expense based on its color coding and itemize it down here under each check. Don't forget to add in money for gas, otherwise you can't get to work.
Okay, wait, but what if I do all of this and then realize that my first paycheck is not enough to cover everything that's due before my second check?
If this happens, you can always try calling one of the companies to ask if you can change your billing date.
You can do that?
Yeah, it's not something they normally advertise, but it is available.
Interesting.
After you do this, you'll want to run a simple sum calculation to get the total expenses that you will be taking out of each of your checks. Next, you'll subtract the income from the expenses in the remaining fund cell. This allows you to see how much money you have left in each check before you decide which check you'll use to get groceries and other items. Once you have everything itemized and deducted, you can see how much you have remaining. In this case, you have $135.01 left from the second check and $330 in the first check. So you decide you're going to split the grocery bill evenly between your two checks. You will need to add a line for this expense below the remaining funds. You will then subtract the grocery and necessities estimate from the remaining balance to get your new remaining amount. Next, you'll need to use the sum formula to calculate your remaining funds in this cell, and you find that you have $215.01 left. After you do this, you'll then need to budget out what's left.
$215? There's this new video game that I've been wanting.
You can use the $215 to get the new video game, but it's still important to budget out your extra money. This helps you better understand how you're spending your extra funds and allows you to plan for things such as savings, going out, and paying off debt early.
Paying off debt early? How do I do that?
Well, you look at your expenses and decide that you want to pay an extra $75 a month on your credit cards so you can pay it off faster. Then you decide that you want to spend $65 a month on entertainment and eating out, which could cover the cost of the game you want. At this point, you still have $75 left, which you could put into your savings account.
Actually, I only have a checking account. Is it really that important to have a savings account?
Saving accounts are important to have so that you don't accidentally spend the money you are trying to save. Even if you're only putting in $5 a month, it is still important to have something in there. Savings can help you pay for unexpected costs such as a new tire or a new screen for your phone. These type of expenses can either be paid completely out of your savings, or your savings can help reduce the amount you have to pay from your paycheck.
That actually makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna have to get that set up. So is there anything else that I need to do?
The last thing you want to do is record the dates that you have actually paid your bills and the confirmation numbers. This is important to do in case you can't remember if you already paid your bills, and you can refer to this spreadsheet and confirm. Even if your bills are on auto pay, it is still important to record the date they are withdrawn from your account.
That's it?
That's it, your budget is done. However, if you ever notice that you have more funds available than you expected, look at your bank statements and see if you missed documenting any bills. If you haven't missed any bills, this enables you to look at previous spending habits to determine if you are spending more money on eating out or on video games, which should be part of your entertainment budget. You may be surprised by your spending habits.
This looks like it's just for November, though. Do I have to redo this entire process every month?
This budget can be used for the entire year and beyond. If you want to add a new month, all you have to do is right-click on the bottom sheet tab and then click on Move/Copy. You'll then want to make sure the copy box is checked and that you select Move to End. Once you click OK, you'll need to rename the sheet by double-clicking the name or by right-clicking the tab and selecting Rename. One benefit of doing this is that you do not have to re-input all the bills that you have to pay for each sheet.
This seems super helpful for the month-to-month expenses, but going back to my issue earlier, how is this going to help me remember when my Amazon Prime payment comes out, since that's just once a year?
Well, if you do yearly subscriptions like Amazon Prime, you need to add those subscriptions to the month in which they renew, assuming you decide to keep them. This will prevent any surprise bills.
Well, I'm definitely keeping my Amazon Prime, but say I decided not to keep my roommate, so now I'm trying to rent out the extra room. How do I account for the rent money once I find a new roommate?
If you get a new roommate and they pay you directly for their rent, you'll put that in the additional income section. Then you add this income to your remaining funds cell. Whereas if your partner moves in with you and you combine bills, you'll place their income in the paycheck section. As you can see, looking at your final budget can help you make decisions that benefit you financially. For example, you may decide that you want to cut cable to save $50 a month. By having a budget, it's easy to see how these types of decisions can impact the amount of money you have.